बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों। हमारा आज का टॉपिक हमारे कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर से काफ़ी रेलेवेंट है, लेकिन अमूमन इस पर ज़्यादा बात नहीं होती। आप तमाम ने एक वर्ड बहुत कॉमनली सुना होगा कि फ़लाँ शख्स एरोगेंट है। मैंने जब डिक्शनरी में एरोगेंट का उर्दू तर्जुमा देखा तो मुझे काफ़ी हैरत हुई। एरोगेंस मीन्स तकब्बुर और एरोगेंट मीन्स मुतकब्बर। जब हम कुरान शरीफ में अल्लाह ताला के 99 नामों को पढ़ते हैं तो हमें उसमें से एक नाम मुतकब्बर भी नज़र आता है। इसका मतलब कि ये सिफत सिर्फ अल्लाह ताला के लिए मंसूब है। जब हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल फ्रेमवर्क में इस वर्ड को देखते हैं तो हमें बहुत सारी जगहों पर ऐसा महसूस होता है, बहुत सारे इदारों में, कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में, जहाँ हमें नज़र आता है कि वी आर हियर एंड आवर कंपटीशन इज़ हियर। दैट मे बी आवर ओन अंडरस्टैंडिंग टू बिगिन विथ, लेकिन ये एरोगेंस की बहुत बुनियादी स्टेज है। और जहाँ पर हम इंटेलेक्चुअल एरोगेंस की बात करें, जिसको हम अक्ली तकब्बुर कहें, तो वो भी हमें कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर में नज़र आता है। आई मीन, वी आर द सुप्रीम, वी आर नंबर वन, वी बीट द कंपटीशन। जब इस तरह के हम स्लोगन सुनते हैं तो हमें ये समझ लेना चाहिए कि कुछ गड़बड़ है। और गड़बड़ कहाँ पर है? इन द माइंड्स ऑफ द शेयर होल्डर्स, इन द माइंड्स ऑफ द टॉप मैनेजमेंट, द टॉप लीडर और द मार्केटिंग गुरुज who claim that we are up here, but on the basis of what? Is it the revenues? Is it the market share? Is it the number of customers? Is it the number of employees? Or is it the profitability? What? How can we claim that we are number one? And who has decided that you are number one? Did I as a customer? Did you decide as an employee that your organization is number one? That's why you opted to work over there. So these are some of the notions that we get into the larger organizations where we work in, and we think our competition is duffer. I mean, they are the gone cases. They do not use their brains, and we are super smart people working for the organization which claims to be the number one or the top organization. दोस्तों, एक और चीज़ we must understand and we must decide that what makes us happy. Is it the mighty dollar or a mighty rupee, or the organizational behavior where we are working in? I'm going to address this in a separate article soon, inshallah. But this is something that, for example, this is what happens in an intellectually arrogant organization. Everybody has pressures, but how you deal with pressures, how do you connect with your employees? Let me give you an example. When you look at your sales numbers and you discover that one of your employees has constantly deteriorating numbers, there are two ways to handle the situation. How an arrogant or intellectually arrogant organization or the leader would handle that situation. He would call that person into his office, and there will be an eye-to-eye session between the two, and the boss is telling the employee that you better pull up your socks, otherwise this is the last chance and you will be gone. Period. These are the harsh words that the boss would use. In an intellectual, humble organization, how this situation will be dealt with? Will the boss try to find out that what's wrong with that particular employee who has been a performing employee over the last few months? But what happened to him? Why his numbers are dropping? He will or she will go to the employee's desk, would order a cup of tea or coffee, and they will discuss what's wrong. Is there a problem at his family? Is there an issue in his personal life? Is he getting into drugs or other substances? What are the issues? He will try to find out where are the problems and how the situation should be handled. दोस्तों वो एक और चीज़, we have seen that the health sector in any country, in the developing countries as well as in the developed countries, is spending a lot of money on the public health. Yet we see growing numbers of diabetic patients, growing numbers of heart patients. Why it is like that? Is it just because that our lifestyle is such? Yes, lifestyle is such, but at the same times, our jobs, our businesses are also making us sick. And if we continue to work for intellectually arrogant bosses and intellectually corrupt organizations, we continue to have this in the longer run. So let's think about it. And those of the bosses who are watching us today, they need to understand that how humility is brought into the corporate sector. We talk of empathy. We have talked about this. We have written about this. Let's bring some change in our corporate sector and see how can we improve it over the period of time. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we beg leave. Inshallah, we will catch you next week. Take good care of you. Allah Hafiz.